How expensive is Australia? For this question, we might get different answers from tourists than we do from the locals. So I went out to the streets of Brisbane, Australia to ask both locals and tourists if they think Australia is expensive.
So as an Australian, do you find it expensive living in Australia?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I do find this country to be expensive. I think living in Australia is very expensive. Rent is very expensive and food is very expensive here.
Definitely.
Yeah. Sydney, Melbourne, yeah.
We need a pay
Gold
rise.
Coast, no. Brisbane, yeah.
It's very expensive in Australia, but I guess to counteract that, we've got good minimum wage, but still, tax high.
Coming from a different country, I reckon our expenses, cost a lot more. But living here and originating in Australia, I reckon it's perfect for the wage rate that we get.
Maybe. You can live in Brisbane pretty cheap. You can do everything basically for free or for a couple bucks a day. But if you want a lavish lifestyle, it can be pretty exy here. Yeah. Expensive.
Food in particular is quite expensive, and the quality of the food isn't as good as it is in Southeast Europe or in the Mediterranean parts of Europe.
Yeah, petrol's expensive.
Groceries.
Especially for vegans.
Cost of living, food's more expensive, housing's more expensive. The food is better here, so I can understand why it's pricier, but like Europe and the US and whatnot, they're so much cheaper.
Also, it's expensive, but compared to Singapore and Europe, it's kind of like normal. I would say it's average, above average.
I come from Belgium and I think that the euro is more expensive than the Australian dollar. And as a student here, I think the life it's less expensive. For example, for a meal we can spend maybe $10 and it's really cheap for us.
I'm from Netherlands and I think overall Australia is quite expensive compared to Netherlands. But at the other hand, in Australia, earn quite good money as well.
If I compare to Korea, Korea is more expensive, I think.
Korea is more expensive than Australia?
Yep.
I'm from Iran originally, and compared to Iran and I think other countries that I've been to, it is more expensive. Like I've been to Malaysia, like Asian countries. It is definitely way more expensive, especially like in bigger cities like Brisbane.
Everything is like expensive more than Japan. About food.
Did that surprise you, coming here, or you already knew that?
I actually didn't know before I came to Australia.
Compared to France, I think it's expensive. Even the food is very expensive. Just the fast food is very cheap, but yes, for me it's expensive.
And for me that I live in Brazil, Australia is really expensive. It's really hard to eat. It's really hard to go to a supermarket because everything that you are going to buy is like 3 or 4 times the price.
3.5 years ago, when we go to Coles or Woolies, 2-liter milk would be $2 only. Now it's not 50. And also the bread, the cheapest one was 70 cents. Now it's 1.30. Yeah. And also the roasted chicken, that's a popular one, from $7 until $12. That's would be huge change during 3 years only.
Why do you think things cost more here, just in general, like the overall price?
I think one part is that we're so far from everything, so the trade is probably pretty expensive to get stuff down here. And then like produce and whatnot is a lot healthier, less, GMO stuff in our food, so that's more pricier for us as well.
Do you find that buying things online is more expensive for Australians?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If like shopping in America, I get the dollar conversion, but like a t-shirt in America is like $20, whereas in Australia it could be the same t-shirt's 50.
Almost anything that you buy online is like doubly expensive for Australians, and then plus all the shipping just like skyrockets the whole price of it, and it's awful.
For like some items, the shipping costs more to get it over here than the actual item itself, so it's a little harder.
Maybe it's weird. Maybe Australia just seems like some weird little country down there.
Everyone knows we'll pay more for things.
Yeah, we just will. We should just all buy local. Everything buy local and it'll be good.
That's even more expensive.
Yeah, true.